Maybe, like me, you also like the 1911, but you want something with a little more modern flair than the old standard. Well, this could be for you. Springfield Emissary. How about that? Let's get into this thing. Hey, welcome back to the Walther Lover channel, everyone. A place where we discuss general gun and shooting topics. We do gun reviews, gear reviews, talk about competitive shooting, and sometimes my love of Walther firearms. Thank you for coming back by and checking out the channel. If this is your first time, thank you for popping in. Hit the little like and subscribe buttons if you would. It is appreciated. So, the 1911. I did a whole video about the 1911. I like the 1911, and maybe that makes me old or a FUD or whatever you want to call me. That's okay. I like the classic feel and shootability and of course trigger. I mean, who doesn't like that thing? I like a 1911, but I also like a little modern flair in the gun, something that feels classic but also has maybe more of a modern take on it, and that's how I found the Springfield Emissary. Yeah. So safety. I'm gonna get the mag out of there and make sure she is clear. Nothing in the chamber. We are safe. So there you have it, folks. Springfield Emissary. Very cool. Now this is the one we're going to be talking about tonight is the 45 ACP model. This gun comes in a couple of different variations, and we'll talk about that. But according to Springfield, right, they wanted to bridge the gap between a semi-custom pistol and a defensive 1911, and that's how the Emissary was born. And it's got some cool features and some things that are a little different than the standard 1911, but not quite, the custom deal. Because if you're into 1911s at all, or you've looked at them, you know that in the 1911 world, you could spend a couple $100s, maybe $300 or $400 at an entry level 1911, up to what, I mean, I'm not sure that there's a limit. There's some really hardcore custom 1911s out there that are pretty amazing. I love those guns, and some of the custom ones that I've been very fortunate to get my hands on have been pretty friggin' phenomenal. But for most of us that like the 1911, but maybe not that quite that committed, I like something that maybe feels a little more custom, a little more suited for me, a little more modern, I guess, but with all those classic features. So first of all, let's get into a little up close and personal with this thing and show you some of the features up close, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about this thing some more. So stand by. Let's do the up close stuff. All right, so here we go. The Springfield Emissary in 45 ACP. Yeah, pretty nice, yeah? All right. Mag is empty, as you can see. No ammo in there. No ammo in the gun. We are clear. All right, so I've got the bag sitting out here. I'm not going to do any kind of unboxing on this gun because it's really simple. Comes in a box. You get this case. Gun's in the case. You get 2 of these mags. That's it. So let's get that out of the way for now. But anyway, there you have it. I'm going to tell you this stainless and blued finish. As soon as they announced this gun, I said, man, I have got to have this thing. So I just think the finish is phenomenal. But let's take that up close and personal look at this gun. Starting with these awesome G10 VZ grips. These are from VZ, and these grips are aggressive, man. See some of that texture? They are super aggressive. You get a good grip on this gun, you look at your hand, and it reminds you that you had a good grip on the gun. Super, super cool. In addition, on the back strap, we also have very, very aggressive texturing. Same thing on the front. Very, very aggressive. So the gun it feels great in the hand, and you just don't get a lot of movement. I mean, that gun's going to stay put no matter what you do. It's pretty cool. Squared off trigger guard, a little unusual for 1911, right? You've got a rail, Picatinny rail for your accessories, lights. Mag button is in a good place, typical 1911 fashion, but very easy to get to. Typical-ish 1911 slide lock, slide release lever there. And of course your standard 1911 thumb safety, which is not ambidextrous. Not one side, you see. skeletonized hammer, which really adds to the look of the gun. Pretty sweet. That's it. Moving up to the slide. This is pretty unique, right? Because it's got this tri-cut, I think they tri-top slide with these cuts on it. Obviously some decent texture, but these cuts, then you've got your texture running down the side, the top of the slide to reduce any glare. The sights. Knowing how YouTube is, knowing how a lot of folks are, and knowing how people feel about the 1911 to begin with, a lot of folks aren't going to like these sights. You have got a tritium in the front, which glows pretty dang well. I've tried it a couple different scenarios. And in the rear, you've got the U-dot. Dun, dun, dun. A lot of people don't like this U-dot setup. Can't say I was a big fan on some other guns. When I took this out of the box and realized it had those sights, I was a little surprised, maybe even a little disappointed, honestly. But those sights grew on me very quickly. It's very easy to acquire that front sight with that U-notch to tell you kind of where it is. It's very cool. So that worked out fine for me. Trigger, very typical. Aside from being a nice flat face, really easy to get your finger on here. Let's go ahead and show you what the trigger will do. Got a little bit of movement there. Very light. Reset. Super sweet. A little bit of take up. There's the break. Excellent trigger, as most 1911s have. But this gun, I have fallen in love with this gun. Thousands of rounds through this thing already. Absolutely love shooting this gun. So, magazines. I mentioned you get 2 magazines with this gun. You get 2 quality magazines. These are Mekgar mags. For anyone that likes 1911s, you may have had to buy new mags for your brand new gun as soon as you got it home, right? Because some of these 1911 mags aren't great. I have not had any issues with these mags. They were great. Get 2 of those out of the box. There you have it. Springfield Emissary in 45 ACP. Moving on. So we've gotten a pretty good look at this thing up close. Of course, people are going to ask, how does it shoot? Well, it's a 1911 that's built from by a manufacturer that's pretty well versed in 1911s. Look, love them or hate them, Springfield Armory. I know there's some drama there, and I don't get into politics or any of that stuff on this channel typically. So Springfield's been making 1911s for a very long time, and they make some borderline entry-level 1911s all the way up to some amazing custom guns as well. To me, this Emissary kind of fits right in the middle. And of course, this is a 45 ACP version, as I told you, but you've got a fully forged frame, slide, and barrel. It's got a nice big bull barrel, very heavy. The gun's about 40 ounces. And, you know, all of that stuff, along with a great 1911 trigger, makes for a super shootable gun. So as we look at some of the shooting video, the gun is certainly accurate. No question this gun is accurate as can be, as I think most quality 1911s would be. At this point, I have somewhere right around 1,500 to 1,800 rounds through this gun. I've had it for a while and shoot it quite a bit because I really enjoy shooting this gun. Pretty cool. So I showed you most of the features when we looked at the gun up close. Again, fully forged frame, barrel, slide. I mentioned it in the up close view, the aggressive cuts in this gun. From the custom, the VZ G10 grips that come on this gun that are very super duper aggressive, to the pattern textures on the front and rear straps on this gun. Wow, man, it is super aggressive. Now, I am a huge fan of that. The more aggressive, the better. I don't want the gun to move in my hand. I want to know that even if I don't do all the work I'm supposed to do with my grip, that the gun's going to help me out a little bit. And you certainly get that with the Emissary. If you do your part, the gun's not going to move in your hand as you shoot it. Demonstrated up close the trigger. It's a great trigger. Again, it feels it's a mass-produced gun, right? But it feels like somewhat of a custom trigger. Again, I'm not in a million years comparing this to a $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 custom 1911. It's not what I'm getting at. But for the price point and where this gun comes in, I feel like you get quite a bit for the money. I'm a big fan. Now, the 1911s, what are they for? People are asking that question. In the competition world, there's still a couple of divisions kind of dedicated to low capacity guns or single stack guns. So they're still used extensively in competitive shooting. There's still a lot of folks out there that like to carry a 1911. Most of the time, it's a little smaller version. It's pretty heavy if you wanted to carry this gun every day. Again, I said it's 40 ounces, so it's certainly got some weight, which really adds to the shootability of this gun. But to carry it, maybe not. Standard grip safety like you get on a 1911. I know that drives a lot of the striker fire folks crazy that aren't used to that. For me, I don't really notice it. I mean, if you've got a good grip on the gun, I don't know that it really affects a whole lot. It's a nice big thumb safety, so it's easy to let your thumb kind of ride on that safety, which is pretty cool. You've got the rail, so you can put accessories, a light, a laser, whatever you're into on a thing. So I think it's pretty cool. I mentioned that there are a few variants of this gun. So this is a full size 5-inch 45 ACP. They also make a 9mm version, this size, and they also make a commander size or 4.25 in both 45 and 9mm. So there's a lot of options and different calibers for whatever you're into, which is kind of cool as well. Really enjoy shooting this gun. I mentioned in the tabletop view the sights, right? And not everybody is going to be into those sights. That U dot in the rear is probably a little off-putting for folks. And I won't lie, when I first took the gun out of the box, I was a little disappointed in that rear sight. I was like, man, I don't know if I can get used to that. Over time, I have gotten much more used to that sight, and I'm not going to say it's one of my favorites, but it's easy to track. It's easy to find. If you're shooting target focused, front sight shows up very easily and glows pretty well. It's pretty cool. So, hey, price wise, so again, talking about who the gun's for, you're probably not going to carry it if you're a target shooter range. You want a range gun. You want a Safe Queen. I mean, it's pretty. I think it's pretty. I like this. I like the way this gun looks a lot. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Just want a 45 to have something to play with. This is to me, it's a great option. I think it's pretty cool. I'm happy as heck to have it in the collection because I feel like it's a good shooter and it looks good and most things that I want in a 1911 at this price point. So that's probably who it's for. Again, don't think you're going to carry it 40 ounces. That would get pretty tiresome to carry all day. Price wise, MSRP on all four of the variants of the Emissary is the same. $1349 is what Springfield has listed as the MSRP. I have seen the guns right around $1,250, $1,200, so anywhere from $1,200 to $1,400 depending on where you are, availability and stuff like that. So for the price, man, I feel like you get an awful lot for the money. So that's really it. That's a Springfield Emissary. I wanted to share that thing with you. I get some questions about 1911s and some of my favorites, and I'm a fan of this gun. This gun has served me well. I've put a lot of rounds through it, and it's accurate. I shoot it well, and I like it. So there it is, Springfield Emissary in 45 ACP 5-inch version. That's all I have for you on this thing. So if you like this review, that's awesome. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. If you didn't like this video, let me know why. Maybe we can fix it. But with that, I really appreciate everyone checking this video out. I appreciate the support. And check back with us soon. We should have some more interesting content coming for you. And I look forward to chatting with everybody real soon. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon. See you.